Hey guys, we're going to be adding fractions today. It's lesson 9.6, so we'll start with the fox. I'm not going to say what that sounded like.
Hi there.
Gas.
An artist just stopped by the gas station and spoke to the owner about painting a new sign on the wall. The sign will be so big it can be read by people driving on the highway.
Any day.
Denzel was listening to their conversation.
There's
I
Denzel.
bet he knows what colors the artist will use. Can you ask him? I see. The artist wants to use the colors green and blue. He's going to make 6/10 of the new sign blue. And he also wants to make 23/100 of the sign green. Sounds like it's going to be beautiful.
Ugh.
He'll probably use other colors too, but I wonder how much of the sign would be blue and green. Adding fractions when the denominators are 10 and 100 can be pretty tough. Come on, let's figure it out together.
Okay, so remember we can't add fractions if they have a different denominator, but it's very hard to find a common denominator when you have a 10 and a 100. What do we have to do? Well, we're going to make the 10 100, keep this 100, and remember whatever we do to the bottom, we're going to have to do to the top, so our 23 will stay the same, and then we'll have to add a 0 to the 6. So we have 60 100s. Now all we have to do is add the numerators together, and we have 83 hundredths. Okay, so let's walk through your first couple problems, what they're going to look like in the book.
Fourth grade classes are working on an art project. The fourth grade classes are painting designs on tile squares to make a mural. Mrs. Kirk's class painted 4/10 of the mural. Mr. Becker's class painted 28/100 of the mural. What part of the mural is painted? Let's unlock this problem. You know how to add fractions with parts that are the same size. You can use equivalent fractions to add fractions with parts that are not the same size. We'll solve this problem by finding 4/10 plus 28/100. Our first step is to show these as a pair of fractions with a common denominator. 100 is a multiple of 10, so we'll use 100 as the common denominator. How do we write 4/10 as 100ths? We can multiply the numerator
Remember, whatever
by
we do to the
10
bottom, we do to the
and
top.
the denominator by 10. So 4/10 is equal to 40 100ths. Now we can add the two fractions. 40 hundredths plus 28 hundredths equals 68 100ths. So 68 100ths of the mural is painted. Sean is going to walk to the store and then to his grandmother's house. Sean lives 75 hundredths of a mile from the store. The store is 5/10 of a mile from his grandmother's house. How far will Sean walk? We'll add 75 hundredths and 5/10 to solve this problem. Let's start by showing these decimals as equivalent fractions. The first decimal is 75 hundredths. The second decimal is 5/10. So we rewrite our number sentence as 75 hundredths plus 5/10. Now let's write these as a sum of fractions with a common denominator.
So we're going to
What
change
is the
5/10
common denominator?
into 50 hundredths.
We'll use 100 as the common denominator. So to write 5/10 as hundredths, we multiply the numerator and denominator by 10. This is an equivalent fraction. 5/10 is 50 hundredths. Now we can add the fractions. 75 hundredths plus 50 hundredths equals 125 hundredths. To finish solving the problem, let's write the sum as a decimal. 1 and 25 hundredths.
So remember, you have to turn the
Sean
improper
will
fraction
walk
into a mixed
1
number.
and 25 hundredths miles
And
from
then
his
1
home
and
to the
25
store,
hundredths
and then
will
to his grandmother's house.
show up as 1.25.
Let's solve a problem. Add 8 tenths and 12 100ths. First, we need a common denominator. Select a number to be the common denominator.
Okay, so 100 is a multiple of 10, so we're going to have 2 100ths.
Great job! We'll use 100 as our common denominator. Now, find the numerators. Drag and drop the numbers to show the fractions to add and the sum.
Okay, well, since we used 100 here, we're going to keep this the same. And then here we added a 0 to the 10. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to the top.
That's right. These are the fractions. So 8 tenths plus 12 100ths equals 92 100ths. Now try.
Thanks for your help adding those fractions. I can't wait for the sign to be painted. Hope to see you soon.
All right, so we're going to do another problem right here. So let's say we have 3 tenths plus 40 hundredths. Okay, all we have to do, we're going to find a common denominator. Okay, so 40 100ths, we're going to keep the same because 100 is a multiple of 10. I'll turn that 10 into 100, and then I'll have to change this numerator of 3 to 30. Now I can simply add 30 plus 40 equals 70 hundredths. Thanks, guys.